Hello everyone, and on this video I am going to show you some other wonderful things that the quantum biofeedback has in the new software. But first, let's pull up the body viewer, which I did show in the other video. This particular session is on a child that lives in California and needs their vaccinations zapped. So let's go ahead and take a look at their aura. Even though it's a child, it will come up like an adult. Well, my, looks like we've got a little mismanaged energy going on, so we're going to do what we can to clear that, and we'll go ahead and do the scan real quick. So there's something going on, it looks like, in the spinal. And I will tell you that children play on the playground and really hurt themselves. And chiropractors are seeing children. And it is advisable to see a chiropractor and biofeedback, of course, to see what's going on. They fall and all sorts of energies and they don't say anything. They might cry when they're there at nursery school or whatever, and then when they get home, they're just quiet and they don't say, oh, you know, I hurt my back today. So this is a good way to find different areas. Now, the organ system, I always do DNA congenital, and this is the correct spin of our DNA. And as long as a person, this is the immune system, and as long as a person has a healthy immune system, they absolutely don't need vaccinations. That goes for adults too, to keep our immune system healthy and strong and vital. All of the images look the same, so if you say you're doing a child, what is that? It's just the image. And we will also do their lungs, because the air quality where this child lives isn't too great either. So on the sacred geometry, I'm going to ask the child's consciousness what they want. Wow, isn't that amazing? This is a child, people. Flower of life with second harmonic overlay. And this drop-down menu is all sacred geometry, and I usually do 3 for each person. This one is for the spleen chakra. So the child knows, you know, the child is choosing these. Down here at the bottom it says unconscious interaction. Wow, they chose their DNA. That's amazing. Not really, because we all know our children are so very, very special. So now that I've got that running, I'm going to go to the prayer wheel. And I put the prayer wheel around everyone unless they choose not to. That's their choice also. And we also I clear the dimensions, because I want to see and make sure that they're clear in all areas. And the generation of children that we have now certainly do understand everything I'm talking about. This session is being done in subspace, or what they call remote sessions. The child is receiving the energies that they are choosing mostly. Like the dimensions, that is, each practitioner has their own way of doing things, and it's all wonderful. We all have different styles and ways of doing things. There's a lot of wonderful people that give us free classes to keep us updated on things, and you must, as a practitioner, always take classes and keep up to date, because the technology inside of the biofeedback software changes. I try to always download the latest program, because that provides my clients with the newest energetic signatures. All right. I am not touching the buttons, only when it says OK, because the person's consciousness is pretty much guiding the session, because it is consciousness-based wellness. So now we'll see if there's any. It only does 10 dimensions, although we do know there's many more. So like I said, children do slip and fall all the time. Pretty severe sometimes. And a chiropractor is a good place to take them. So they're showing some clearing needs to be done in the ancestral, the astral, and the cosmic plane. So we'll go ahead and do that. And for animals especially, I do this because after you clear their dimensions, they just really, really feel it. It doesn't take very long to do a session for an animal, because they don't have all of the negative programming that humans do. So they're more open to what's going on. Because like I said, I've got the prayer wheel running, I've got sacred geometry running, all of these wonderful frequencies. And they feel it, and the children really feel it, and the adults do too. I'm not saying that they don't, but there are some that just, but it's their choice. Everyone has their own choice on how they want to heal. There are many wonderful, wonderful healing modalities out there. Whales, dolphins. There's a lot of new technologies and new ways of healing that are out there. So now I'm clearing the dimensions. Wow, that was fast. Yeah, children usually do that real fast. So it's cleared. I'm going to check and see if there's anything up here. So remember, allergy, the child has allergies. It says auto trivector, that's a lot of time, that's brain balancing, and it can also help get rid of trauma. So we're going to go ahead and do the auto trivector before I zap the vaccinations, which is what I am going to do. I've had permission to do so. Signed, sealed, and delivered. So this is the auto trivector, and you'll see the little bars in the dark blue. They'll be moving back and forth because the child's actually balancing their brain at this time. And the screen's pretty color. It's good for me. Gives me color therapy. We also have color therapy, and it flashes hundreds of different colors while the person looks at it, and it will land on a color that will associate to an organ, And I usually recommend that the person wear that color, either a scarf or hat or something around them with that color, because color is also healing. So we want to make sure that the child is balanced. So we will do these therapies first. And I'm going to go over to the NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Panel, and relax their pulse. I hear children now playing in the background. I just love children, and I just don't. If a parent wants to vaccinate their children, that is fine. That's their child. They should be able to do what they want. I do not like California signing and making it mandatory without a parent's permission to give a child a vaccination. So it's almost at 100%. Oh, well, wonderful.
Excellent.
It's excellent. That's the body saying, and it does say in the box right here, improvement is excellent. Well, that's very interesting. Treat extra brain engram. All right. So, and it said there was a possible personality oppression, spirit, superimposition, energetically detected. And so we want to correct that before we go any further. This can also be if a person has a lot of worms or parasites, they get smart and actually have a brain wave if you don't get rid of them. In this particular case, I'm not sure that that's what it is. But we keep correcting it until it corrects. But if for some reason it doesn't correct, we must shut down the session and do it again another day.
Excellent.
This child has been having nightmares and getting up at night, and I do believe it's due to the heavy vaccination schedule on our children. It could be allowing outside entities to bother them.
Excellent.
So with a child, I do my very best to get rid of whatever it is that's energetically stopping them from being healthy. Yay, okay, it turned white, like white light, that's what it reminds me of, and it said the oppression is corrected. That's wonderful. Matter of fact, let's take a look at the aura and see if it's made a change in the aura. Look, everyone, white light. So the darkness around her has now turned to white light. Don't you just love it? So now I will go to the NLP. $250 programs, thousands of energetic signatures. So I'm going to relax the pulse.
Excellent.
So again, it said excellent. I like that the software does that. It also sometimes will give my name and a message, even though I'm working on someone else. It was not programmed to do that, but it does have artificial intelligence. This is connected to my computer. Let's see if there's something that the child would like. Well, it says diabetic neuropathy, but the child could be around a lot of people right now because this, I know the mother, and she feeds this child really, really well. Organic vegetables, lots of fruit. So this could be one of the ancestral miasms that she was clearing in the beginning. So let's, now that she's balanced, go over. And this is the autofocus zap. And I am going to zap the vaccines. Here it is, right here. And after I do that, we will give a feel good. So the scores that I'm looking at for the therapist or the doctors or whoever owns the equipment, the oxygen is good, the hydration, the resistance is good. So all of the scores are good. And I am so glad that I got to show you the spiritual oppression. That's just amazing that that came up, and that you can see that afterwards the light that was around the crown chakra instead of the darkness. I'm going to make this a quick session, and because I want to do a few more things for the child, and I just want to thank you. And I thank Spirit, too, for the demonstration of the aura, how you can have the darkness around you and be able to clear it with biofeedback, because we do mind, body, and spirit. We don't chop you up in little pieces. You are one and whole. And again, always see your physician. We do not diagnose. We do not treat. I am not a doctor. So those are my recommendations, but I believe a good biofeedback session once a month would be just a wonderful thing to have, because then you would be able to see where your health is at the time. My website, lifeforceactivation.net. I do have a special in August for remote sessions. Thank you so much for watching, and may you live peacefully and healthy. Thank you.